All right, welcome back. As you guys can see, I'm getting the dogs in their position. And on this morning, this very foggy morning, I should say, we set out to Cullowhee, North Carolina. Cullowhee, North Carolina. Now, if you want to learn more about this campsite, please check out the link in the description below. This is going to be in the furthest point or close to the actual edge of North Carolina on the western side. But in this morning here, we were expecting it to be a little bit more cooler than it was, but it was a bit humid, and as you can see, it was nice and foggy, and we pretty much dealt with mist, a little bit of rain on our way there, but it was still a nice trip from Faith, North Carolina to Cullowhee. It's driving straight through. You're looking at about 3.5 hours. Of course, with me, you might as well just go ahead and add a few more hours onto that because, as I've always stated, the trip begins when we hit the driveway. When we hit that driveway, we are on vacation. And so even before I had a motorhome, I've always been the type to stop along the way. And so we actually checked out the Garmin 780 GPS, and so this is the first real test that it got, and it did pretty good. It did pretty good, I will say, for the most part. And of course, we did not listen to everything this thing said, and we learned a very valuable lesson in that, and so we'll talk about that a little later. Okay, we are at Black Mountain, and we're at Ingalls. We're going to try to pick up some chicken and some orange juice, but this view here, I just couldn't help it. I had to get it, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, how far are we from Cullowhee from here?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half. We're about an hour and a half from Cullowhee,
Halfway there.
and but the drive has absolutely been just beautiful. Of course, it was real foggy this morning, but as we got closer and closer to the mountains, boy, did the colors come out in these trees. Check them out. I mean, this is just in the parking lot of Ingalls, but this is the reason why I love fall. It's just absolutely just gorgeous. And but we've got a nice little parking spot here, and we're just gonna. The dogs are tucked away. We're gonna let them use the restroom real quick, and but we're gonna stop in here and see if we can pick up just a little bit of extra groceries. And but absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. All right, we decided to pull off on a rest area. We're about, what, 50 minutes?
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
45 minutes from Cullowhee. Well, here's another view. The mountains have been just absolutely just gorgeous with the trees and all. Just absolutely beautiful. But the bathroom door came open, and so I must have didn't shut it all the way when we were at Ingalls, and so we're gonna take care of that. But this is just absolutely gorgeous. Nice little rest area. Guys, y'all see the waterfall right there in the middle of the screen? Well, that's the only pleasure I got from this next ride. The Garmin 785 GPS, I might have called it a 780. It's actually a 785, the newer model. It was telling us to go a different route than what you see me driving right now, and we listened to the cell phone instead. And so this is what I get for not listening to it. It said it had no information on this road that you see me driving on, and now I know why. I know really good why there's no information on it. This is not a good road to be on. This is the Cullowhee Mountain Road. Cullowhee Mountain Road. See that little curve right there? I saw a whole bunch of those. 10 miles per hour is all you can do. Look at that U-turn. That is insane. This is extremely hazardous driving. There were leaves all over the road, In some areas it was extremely thick and it was wet. So you can imagine the hazard, and the incline was insane. And so it was extremely tight curves. I could not stay in my lane, and that is with a 25-foot Class C motorhome. If you had anything longer, here, look at that. Look at that. That's another one. If you have a Class A, you're headed for an accident on this road, no doubt about it. And so I'm not slowing this down right here, y'all. Only to the signs. This right here is not slowed down. I could get out and walk almost quicker than I'm going here. And look at this. I've just made a turn, and here's another one. Look at that. I just made one. 10 miles. It was 10 miles of this before we got to where we were supposed to get. It was insane. Insane. 10 miles. The sign warned us it was going to be 10 miles. Here I go again. Over in the other lane. I will say this, I will listen to the Garmin 785 for now on. And so here we are, we're at the place, dry ground. You'd never expect we were going through Middle Earth just a few slides ago. All right, Sandra has just put in the code, and as you can see, it is a gated community here. There's a camera right there above Sandra's head on that little post. And we are going in. This video is taken by the Garmin RV 785. And I will be switching to the GoPro right now. And we are headed up to this spot. Again, if you have anything longer than 30 feet from what the gentleman that owns the spot we're headed to, you are really taking a chance. It's pretty much come at your own risk. But he does advise anything under 30 foot. 30 foot is really the length. I'm going to tell you right now, again, please divert away from Cullowhee Mountain Road. Do not. I don't care if an RV Garmin tells you to do it. Don't take it. Don't take it. But this is a gorgeous area. The sun came out. Like I said, you'd have never known we were driving through the rain at least an hour or an hour and a half ago. This area here is not developed yet. They will be putting more houses in soon, from what we were told, at least within the next possibly year to a year and a half. They do plan on developing this area more. I believe this right here is going to be our turn to get up to that spot. And as you can see, it is very tight, very tight. Long Class A's would not be able to do this. And here we are over to the right where that gate is. Now you have to back in. That's the only way. At first I tried to pull in, but then I tried to find out where the electric and the water hookups were, and so backing in is really your only option. It's safer and easier for the hookups. The water is directly behind you, and then also the water and the electric is right behind you. Now our unit is 25 feet long, well 24 feet 10 inches from bumper to bumper. So let's just say 25 feet long, and it was one heck of a ride up. Extremely steep, extremely steep. You got to use caution coming up the mountain to this site. But our unit is about, let's just say roughly just a hair over 8 feet wide. With the mirrors, you're probably looking at 9 feet. It's 11 feet 1 inch high. There's nothing overhead that's gonna deter you. So, you can see how much room I got on each side. We don't have levelers put on the unit yet. We won't get those until November at Equalizer Systems. They're the ones that's going to do it instead of Bigfoot. or quadrant systems or quadrant manufacturing, but it's where I'm at now is pretty level. It's pretty level, and so it's a nice spot, really nice spot. And then the water, you can see how dirty the squatch got, because going up the mountain I had to keep turning. Oh my gosh, it was unreal.
And we went through a lot of water.
A lot of water, tremendous amount of water, and leaves. And so we're gonna leave going a different route. Now what we did is we did not listen to the Garmin. The Garmin was taking us up a different way, but we decided to use the phone instead, and it was a mistake. We should have listened to the Garmin. And so but we're going to go the Garmin way down the mountain, and I think it's going to be a whole lot safer. But here's the water here, and the electric is here, and so it is not full hookup. It's only water and electric, and so you got to have your own self-contained unit. And so to get, but check this out here. Here's the fire pit, and so they left us a pumpkin here. And so tonight we're going to try to have a nice little fire, and that is a big ring. Here, stand over there. Let's do it for scale. Look how big that fire ring is. That's huge. And so you got little places to sit along there. But this is a gorgeous, beautiful little area. But guys, here is the big time. Look at this. Check it out. That is absolutely unbelievable. Look at that view. Wow. Now this right here comes with it. This comes with it too. And so you just go down these steps here. Now this house here is owned by them, and they said there's a chicken coop, and we could have the eggs. If the first day we could have the eggs if we wanted them. And so they said feel free, take the eggs. Check this out. Look at this view. Oh, I love this. Check it out. Look at that. Boy, does that fit or what? Warning, please do not feed the Sasquatch. And who knows, hey, we have the Squatch that we're camping with. But check this out. Look at that view. That is breathtaking. That is absolutely breathtaking. Wow, yeah, this is where coffee will be drank. Oh my goodness. Look at this. But this is the little porch. And they said that there was okay, this here is,
it's a gas.
This is a propane. Propane, can you take it off? Here, grab that. It's, they have the canisters underneath, and, but this is you can have a fire at nighttime, so we're going to try that out at night. I'll try to film some of that. Hopefully it'll take. Sometimes I can't get a good recording at nighttime. And so is this?
Yeah, that's the box with the stuff in it.
Okay, this has got propane, flashlight, birdseed, and so first aid kit in case you fall off the railing here thinking you can fly. They what? Oh, they got Roku up here. We got a Roku already.
Horseshoe.
And they got radios.
Yes.
Because they said cell signal was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they do provide the walkie-talkies. And but look at that.
Oh, there's a lake down there.
Yeah, is that where down through here they do allow? I guess they have boats, canoes that you can use, and there's some trails through here, and we're going to try to check out at least one trail. But they said there's some trails, and so you're kind of overhanging the cliff here, and so that's just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The dogs are going to like this. They're still in the Squatch, still in the dog carrier. Wow. And after we got ourselves settled down, we decided to push it and try to make something over the fire. Now, Sandra and I has an agreement. Anytime we first arrive somewhere, we make something very simple and easy. But we decided to go ahead and push it and try to make something over the fire. I did not bring the tinfoil like I was supposed to, and so we're having to cook the vegetables over the fire, over the skewers. Now, that would be good if we had plenty of time, but we didn't have the time for it, and so the vegetables got about half done, and so they were crunchy. I didn't mind it too much, but you know, it was still fun to cook them like this, even though they didn't completely get done, so we had to finish them off inside the camper. What we decided to cook was mushrooms, peppers, pineapple, onions, and steak. And so the pineapples did turn out pretty good, I will say that. But all the other vegetables, they did not turn out the way we had hoped. If we would have had probably another hour or two to really take our time with it, it would have turned out very nicely. But I'll say this, if you guys wanted yourself a good treat, get you some pineapple and cook it just like I'm doing right here. That smoke and that fire, it just makes a nice flavor to the pineapple. Now the steak, now I'm one that, you know, I just about like my steak getting ready to run off, and so I don't like mine cooked all the way. I like a medium rare, and so, but the steak didn't get quite done, even to my taste. And so half of it did, half of it didn't, so we ended up having half of it for breakfast the next morning with some eggs. And that night we decided to sit around the fire with the dogs. This is that propane fire. It really turned out nice. I wish there was more light to be able to show y'all, but Kiki's laying right beside of me, and we were not able to see out there. There just wasn't enough starlight or moonlight to see it. There was still some clouds hanging in the distance. Okay, here we have that is that steak and the vegetables. That's what they're supposed to look like. And so we just had them that very next morning. And the dogs we had them in their crate and they were cheering us on. All right, I've got Sandra here with me, and the next meal that we had was chicken. And so I got her with me because I want her to explain exactly what the ingredients went in. Well, what the ingredients in. So tell us what you did here.
Okay, for the chicken pieces, we had legs and thighs that night. I seasoned them with a mixture of lemon pepper. I mixed some Cajun seasoning and some poultry seasoning in with it, and salt and pepper, and I just seasoned them up real good. And here
we're just frying it up, getting the skin crispy.
Yeah, I tried to render some of the fat out and get the skin nice and crispy.
Okay, and what we're doing is we got charcoal, just regular bagged charcoal. That's underneath this Dutch oven, and we just heated them up in the fire, and so there we're just getting the skin crispy. Did you brine that?
No, I didn't brine it. I kind of dry rubbed it and let it set for an hour or so, but it soaked into the chicken perfectly.
Okay, now carrots, I love carrots. Carrots seem to season up extremely well. They add seasoning, and they cook very well in the Dutch oven, and so I could just about have a whole pot of just of carrots. Mm-hmm. But this meal, y'all, is really, really good.
This was the best chicken I've ever had.
Yeah, and it made a nice sauce at the end that you could put over potatoes. Mm-hmm. And I think the whole cooking time was how long?
Right at an hour.
An hour?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I always pre-cook my vegetables before we leave and have them ready to go in a baggie. And I try to prep everything before we leave the house, and that way everything's taken care of, and I don't have a lot of meal prep when we get to the campsite.
Yeah.
And here I sprinkled them with salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar to the top. So that's what I'm adding right now, a little brown sugar just to kind of caramelize everything really good and make those carrots nice and sweet and flavorful, and they were amazing.
Yeah. It was. I tell you now, this meal here, we had the time.
Mm-hmm.
We had the first night. We broke our own rule. Usually, whenever we get somewhere, we always do something extremely simple. But this one here, we started this meal. It was in the afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it was about 3 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
3 or 3:30. Getting the carrots nestled down in there real good, making sure they're making contact and get some color on them.
Yeah, and then what I really love about the Dutch oven is it keeps the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And but this is the second time that we've had chicken like this. But I'm gonna tell you, I think this time was better than the last one.
Yeah, this was, like I said, the best chicken I think I've ever had. Roasted chicken.
Yeah, it cooks really well, and you'll see me put coals on top of the lid, and you kind of surround it with heat. And once it gets good, real nice and hot, it really adds. It's just all just kind of just sealed up in there,
Yeah. Add
and
a
you
little
don't.
water right there to kind of steam it.
Mm-hmm. You don't lose any moisture
Mm-hmm.
with this.
And there you go.
Okay, now I'm gonna sprinkle. I'm just adding a little more coals underneath to make sure it's gonna keep the heat underneath it, and then I'm gonna also spread some coals on top of it, and that will surround it. And every now and then, what I'll do, about every 15 minutes,
Yep.
I'll turn the Dutch oven. I believe it's a quarter turn.
A quarter turn. You turn the
I have
lid
to think about
Turn
it.
the lid one way and the bottom the other way.
Yeah. Now here, explain exactly what you got going on here.
Okay, so before I left the house, I had this little bit of cream cheese in a container. So I made basically sort of a cream cheese icing type thing. I put powdered sugar in it, some vanilla, a little bit of lemon juice into the cream cheese to flavor it. And so this is going to be a stuffed French toast. So I put the cream cheese in it, and then we made blackberry stuffed French toast. You could do cherry stuffed French toast, raspberry, apple, any canned pie filling you wanted to use, and make the stuffed French toast out of it. So you do the cream cheese and the pie filling, and then we're going to I mixed up some French toast batter with eggs and half and half, and some vanilla and cinnamon, and we're gonna dunk those in, and then we're gonna put it in the pie iron and make stuffed French toast. And
Yeah.
you can have it for breakfast. We had it for dessert. It was a really good dessert. So
Yeah. It's now our first thought was to put 2 in each one of the little cast iron little cookers there, but one sandwich really was. It filled it up. That
this
bread's
was normal
pretty big.
bread. This is the artisan brioche bread is what I used. Artisanal, I think it is. It's Nature Valley. So it was bigger than a regular piece of bread.
And here, we're getting it on. And then what
Yeah,
else?
I was trying to smash one to one side, but then we realized it wasn't going to work. So I'm like, no, we can't smash it.
Yeah, and then I took that top and put it on and stuck it in the fire.
And it only took like 3 minutes per side, maybe not even that long, 2 to 3 minutes per side, and it was done.
Yeah, and you can see the smoke coming off of that.
You could hear it sizzling.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time we used the pie iron. Next time we use the pie iron, I think we're going to try London broil in it.
And of course, you know, every one of them turned out just like this right here.
Perfect every time. Actually, we had to bring a couple of them inside and finish it on the stove. So.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, baby. That cooked so good. The smell was unbelievable.
They were really good.
Oh, I wish I'd have kept that sauce though and put it.
Yeah.
I mean, that sauce is just I should have just taken it and just poured it over the chicken.
Yeah.
That was some good. I mean, put some of that gravy there over some rice, some cooked rice.
Oh,
that'd have been good too.
I'd try that next time.
Yeah, those carrots though, tender. I mean, the flavor was all the way through, and the chicken too.
Oh yeah.
The chicken had that flavor all the way through it.
Yeah, that was a very good, like I said, combination of spices that I used. I think it was rotisserie chicken seasoning is what I used. Rotisserie chicken seasoning, lemon pepper, salt and pepper, a little bit of Cajun spice in there, and it was perfect. And like I said, then that brown sugar kind of rounded it out, gave a little bit of caramelization and some sweetness, and yes, it was delicious. We ate every single one of the carrots, and I ate 4 pieces of chicken. I think Donnie ate 2, but I ate all 4.
Yeah, we saved some for the kids to eat. Wanted to let them try it out because it absolutely turned out perfect. And then of course at nighttime or the evening hours, we wanted to get down here before it started turning night and sit with the dogs. And you look at that view. I mean, you just can't get over that view. Helicopters that were flying by, we saw them at eye length. I mean, they were right there in front of us. So we didn't have to look up to see them. I mean, they were flying where we could just sit there and look at them just regular.
Yeah, there's a hospital close by down in the valley, and they evidently were the helicopter people in and out because that's probably what they have to do because the roads are so windy. But
all right,
anyway, they're rocking my babies.
All right, we are leaving. We got everything packed up. All I got to do now is I'm trying to get the propane, the light on the refrigerator. And so, but other than that, we've got everything ready to go. We're fixing to head on out. Just last thoughts on this campground is...
I give it 5 stars.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 5-star. But if you do come up this way, make sure you don't take the what's that road called?
Cullowhee Mountain Road. Do not take Cullowhee Mountain Road.
Yeah, Cullowhee Mountain Road is extremely hazardous. If you've got anything, I mean, ours is 25 feet long. If you've got anything longer than that,
you're pulling something.
You're really going to have a hard time. If you're pulling a travel trailer, it's going to be a nightmare.
And Class A's is impossible.
Yeah, Class A's, you're looking at a definite accident with the Class A. And so, but when we got up here, the owner told us that he did send us an email warning us about taking that road, which we either did not get or we just didn't look at it close enough. And so, but it is extremely hazardous. And so other than that, as far as the future of this campground, there is a possibility that it may not be around here. Maybe within the next year to year and a half.
It's a campsite. It's not a campground. It's just a campsite.
Yeah, yes, it's not a campground. Let me correct that. This is a privately owned little site. And so the owner that owns a cabin. Now, he does rent the cabin out. And so at the link that I'll have in the description below, if you'll check that link out, he does rent the cabin. But there is I guess a history with the homeowners association. I guess they made a big rhubarb about him having a privately owned RV campsite and was renting it out. And so I guess they made the agreement that once they start building other houses in this area, because he's pretty much the only one besides another house that we saw. Once they start doing that he would stop renting that. So he did tell me that they did make that agreement. So, this place may not be here as far as an RV, but you can still I guess he could still rent the cabin. and so, but other than that, guys, this is definitely worth the trip. It was absolutely gorgeous, quiet, peaceful. I think he said he saw 2 bears in 7 years. And so other than that, we did see some eyes in the woods last night. We think they were just deer. And so this is a very unusual thing. It's the first time we've ever had anything like this, where we just had our own little campsite all to our own. And so, but it's water and electric. There is no sewer hookup, so you will need to have a self-contained rig. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and get headed down the road. We got about a 3.5 hour ride back, which is probably going to take at least 4 hours at minimum. We got to stop at Mama Gertie's, and they're going to let us use their dump station for $5. And and then we're going to get some fuel and then head on back home. Now we're pulling out, fixing to head back to the house. And guys, if those of you that don't already know, I do have an issue with anxiety. I deal with it, and going down this mountain was not making me feel any better. It ended up being a nice drive down though. Now we had to go to Mama Gertie's in Swannanoa to empty the black tank and the gray tank, and that's about the closest place that we found, though there were many campgrounds in the area. And it's a nice place to go. If you guys want to learn more about Mama Gertie's, please check out my videos about that and you'll see where we went. Really nice place. And I just want to point out though, a turn. I'm slowing down the video here. If you'll notice that turn to the right, now where that truck's going out, that's where you'll be pulling in. That's the interest of Mama Gertie's, but it's a very hazardous turn. If you'll notice, these trees block, for the most part, you looking through there. Like if you was going to be going in the summertime, you wouldn't be able to see a car flying up on you. And so just take note of that. I do highly advise the campground though. It's a gorgeous campground. They really take care of the place. A lot to offer, full hookups, and so they even have a laundromat in the place. And so I do highly advise this campground here. Matter of fact, while we were here, we went ahead and set up a time to come back. I think in April, I think is when we're coming, and we're going to stay 3 nights during that trip. But they have seen bears in the area. And we decided to go to Marion, North Carolina, and visit. Sandra wanted to go to a store that had spices and stuff, and so we stopped in here. Okay, we stopped here at Marion, North Carolina. And this is a cute little town. Here's one of the buildings in the town. The town is really nice. You can park one little area and to see the place. This is where they have the Bigfoot Festival. The Bigfoot Festival, if you'll look right there. Let me get a little closer. See that? See that Bigfoot where it says welcome to Marion? You see that Bigfoot on the sign there. Here's another one. Okay. This is Bigfoot is the official animal of Marion.
Yeah, this is the city hall.
Okay. This right here is the city hall. All right. But Bigfoot is the official animal of Marion. If you want to check out my playlist, I think I got it in the RV Trippin' playlist. I did 2 videos. I did one little short video where the mayor is officially having Bigfoot the official animal of Marion, and then I have the actual trip that we took to Marion. And so, but at any rate, we found a nice little place to park here, and while Sandra went to Flavors on Main.
It has gourmet olive oils, balsamic vinegars, cheeses, all different kinds, teas, spices.
Okay. And then there was a donut place that was across the street from it. But those, oh God, they got some really good flavored vinegars. And so, but guys, we're going to go ahead and get on the road, but just thought you'd like to see this. If you want to check out the Bigfoot Festival, they did not have that this year because of the coronavirus. And so lots of festivals were canceled. Like Salisbury has the Cheerwine Festival, that was canceled. And so, but maybe 2021 we'll have it. All right, we're gonna get back on the road. Okay, what better way to end a video than to let you see the most exciting part of all. If you guys would like to, please check out my other videos in my playlist, RV Tripping, to learn about other camping areas around North Carolina that we have been. There's still lots more to come. There's still places that we've never been to that we're going, and then there's places that we absolutely enjoy going to, and so we'll be visiting those places again and doing videos on those because of the things that you can do in and around those places that you may not know of. And so we've had people contact us before, or my wife has had friends contact her that either have RVs or fixing to get an RV and are wanting to know of camping places that are around locally. And so, but at any rate, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, sadly, this is probably one camp spot that won't be around at least within the next 2 years from what we're gathering. But even at that, it's still a wonderful place to still come visit. There's lots of campgrounds in this area that we did see, and so you know, we do plan on coming to some of these campgrounds that we saw. We just drove slowly by them and we thought, that looks nice, and so we are planning on coming back. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please check out everything else on my channel, and remember, it's not just about the destination, but it's also the journey in between. Y'all take care. God bless.